SABC Digital News Tech Rep. I'm Matiba Mutheiwana. This week we look at African social media. Twitter launches a new app. We speak to Arthur Goldstruck about the impact of social media on teenagers and young people. And we get a demo of OralB's latest tech toothbrush. Now, African social media platform Twitter has recently launched an app that is available on Android and Apple. The social media platform continues to grow in South Africa and around Africa as more people look for more localized content. Take a look.
It's called Twitter, which is the name for a real Twitter, and we've launched it after 4 years of development as a responsive design for Afrikaans people only, so that we could see how they consume it. And now we're ready for the nation, so soon we will launch it with English road signs, but you can use pretty much any language you want to. And I want to say this, that it's a new generation social media, mobile media network, because you can do social, pictures, messages, text and video, but you can also do private messages directly to another person, or you can watch mobile TV on it, and you will also be able to buy and sell things, so it becomes an m-commerce marketplace. It's very important to have local content, so the big networks like Facebook and Twitter, they struggle to really be locally relevant. So for us in South Africa, we will have magnets in Johannesburg. If you join, maybe you will like to see something about the Soweto Mall again, or maybe you want to see something about what's going on in Sandton. I'm living in Cape Town, so maybe I would like to see something about the Stormers rugby players, not that they're playing too well at the moment, but watch that. Or maybe I would want to know something about the beaches, and I would be able to have those magnets localized on my home page. So if you go to another country, for instance, if you go to Zambia, you would need to have local media there, either radio, newspaper or sports people, so that when you log on in Zambia, or if you move with your phone there, it will give you that local content first, so that it becomes relevant to you, and then you can choose. If you want to go to Cape Town while you're here, you can just do it, just press the button. But it's very important to for people to understand their local environment and enjoy it, because it's a very, very big trend, local, big trend.
Now, social media safety has been in the spotlight in South Africa after a young girl was apparently recruited into ISIS via social media. We speak to Arthur Goldstruck about how to keep your kids safe online. Take a look.
What are some tips that you can give parents out there?
It's not an easy answer. We spoke a few months ago about the book that Nikki Bush and myself wrote, Tech Savvy Parenting,
yes,
which is a few hundred pages on advice of this kind. And in fact, it's exactly this kind of situation that we were trying to preempt. And what we're saying is that parents actually have to share their children's technology lives with them from the start. But it starts with parenting. It starts with having the right values and the right attitudes in the home. And from there, once you give children access to technology, you've got to guide them into the use of that technology. So you've got to share it with them. In other words, you've got to be there with them. When they go onto Facebook for the first time, the parent has to have access to that same Facebook account. And it's not a popular argument. A lot of parents say, but privacy. Unfortunately, it's like saying that they have the right to privacy when they go out on the streets and in the mall. We should allow them to do what they like. That's what you're really allowing them to do if they go into social media unguided and unmonitored.
Yeah.
You have to be able to monitor that. The problem is that once they have had freedom from your monitoring for a few years, if you haven't introduced that attitude and policy from the start, it's very difficult to pull them back. The genie is out of the bottle, and you can't really bring a 14 or 15-year-old back under your control once there's a culture of, let's almost call it permissiveness.
Yeah.
So once you have that situation, then unfortunately it comes to a case of monitoring them in other ways. There is software that you can put on phones that monitor social activity, and you can just Google it. There's any number of options. Google child monitoring software or child safety on the phone, etc.
And it will actually
find these.
Will it put mechanisms to block certain activities on the phone, or is it for you as a parent to monitor what your child is doing?
Some blocks, depending what you want to block, and some is purely for monitoring. But again, you are going to be going to war with your child to put that on their phone.
Yeah.
So the understanding has to be there from the very beginning that that phone is a privilege, and the account that they're using, you paying for it, therefore you have rights to that account as well. And you have the right to put material on the phone. The problem is most parents are not tech savvy. So the kids run rings around them.
Yeah.
And that again brings up another difficult responsibility, which is that parents have to learn this technology. They have to understand it before they give it to their children.
Well, if you've ever worried about oral hygiene, how long you should brush your teeth for, and if they are clean enough, OralB has upgraded their tech-connected OralB toothbrush. This connects to an app and lets you know if you're brushing properly or long enough. We have a short demo. Take a look.
The idea is that this brush is enabling you to brush longer and also brush in all the areas of the mouth. So we wanted to create an interface to motivate people to brush the right way. So as you can see, dentists recommend to brush 4 quadrants of the mouth for 30 seconds. So that teaches you how to do it and to spend the right amount of time there. And when you press too hard, basically you have also a signal that alerts that you need to press it, less. That's also good to, protect your gums.
Yeah.
While you brush, you can also multitask. So here we have, for example, news feed. We can have your calendar information, also the weather information. So to just double tap or multitask, while you brush as well.
Will any of these be available in South Africa?
Yes, so we are launching around the world. We are present in 24 markets right now. Africa and South Africa in particular is planned to launch across the summer this year. Well, normally people do morning and evening, but if you don't brush for a few days, the app says, "Where are you? Please come back."
Every week we look at trending topics online to find out what the people in South Africa are talking about. This week, Rhodes Has Fallen trended high on Twitter after the statue of Cecil John Rhodes was removed from the University of Cape Town. This brewed another trending topic, #tag a tweep who must fall. This saw Twitter users taking everyone from celebrities to celebs and their friends online. Well, that's it from us this week. Join us again next week for another wrap of the biggest tech stories doing the round.